Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Daz Reacts, and today I am reacting to the top 10 things only Brits do and think it's normal. And a big shout out to Watch Mojo UK for letting us react to this video. Please do go check them out. There is a link in the description below. And I'm trying to think of things that we do as Brits and think it's normal that others don't. I don't know. It's going to be in comparison to the likes of like what they do and don't do in the US and things like that, and like I don't know what to expect. I don't know what we do, what we think is normal and other people don't, and I'm probably going to watch these and think, oh yeah, what other people don't do that, what the hell. So we're just going to get straight into it. I hope you like this. If you do, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I will be uploading daily, so let's get into this.
Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things only Brits do and think it's normal.
Let us throw caution
to the
wind.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe.
Okay, I don't think it's a British thing. I think it's just something I do. I don't let people finish their sentence. I just take over.
Subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified
Ding
about
dong.
our latest videos.
Bing bong.
For this list, we're going to be looking at behaviours, events, and whatnot that we're so used to and enjoy, yet non-Brits think are bonkers. What do you think the strangest thing we do is? Let us know in those comments below. Number 10, pantomimes. Every year, without fail, you know there's going to be pantomimes put on somewhere near you. Whether it's a bunch of amateurs having a go, a troupe of celebrities looking to boost their profiles, or Christopher Biggins, there are many types for all people.
I beg your pardon.
It's become a British tradition since it started back in the Middle Ages. Even though it's technically theatre, it's a very unique form, with audience participation encouraged with yells of "he's behind you" over and over again until your voice gets sore. Also, during pantos, you can find plenty of innuendos, over-the-top comedy and songs, and typically the story will be some form of a fairy tale. It's an acquired taste for non-Brits who mostly find it confusing. Number 9,
Do you know what? Honestly, I'm not going to lie. Pantomimes are a big thing here. I didn't know that people did like that. Other people didn't do pantomimes outside of the UK. I had no idea about that. But the thing is that like here, it's the case that some of them are alright, some of them are not. But it's the adult ones. It's the adult ones that you got to go to, because they do a lot of pantomimes for kids to go to. But it's the adult ones. And Jim Davison used to do the best ones. He used to do like Cinderella and Boobs in the Woods, and like Cinderella would take the storyline from Cinderella, but he changed it in so many ways, and that's something that I may have to react to on this channel. I have not watched that in a long time, and even just thinking about it now wants to make me laugh. Sorry for keep pausing this, I need to carry on, but I'm going to be pausing this a lot of the way through, because like I need to talk. I didn't know that other countries didn't do pantomimes. Like basically, I didn't know that. I thought it was just a worldwide thing.
class obsession. There are not many places on the planet that are as obsessed with class as much as the UK, with terms like chav, common, toff, Tory, and so on being thrown around with a dash of disdain. It's become a badge of honour with what class you belong to. Some will judge you for daring to be born to a certain family in a certain town in a certain part of the country.
Young Simon here, first time he's ever been to the theatre, and sees that load of rubbish, you may have put him off the theatre for life.
Just look at the anger that's brought on depending on whether you say scone or scone. There's even an issue of hanging out with people that are from different classes. A working class person having a cup of tea with a posh person? Can't have that. Number 8.
Honestly, it's already the case that like you know exactly what that conversation was about. But I mean, we do have classes, but it's not really based on like chav or toff or Tory and things like that. We just say lower class, middle class, upper class, and like others may look at it like that. Yeah, we'll look at people and go, oh, what a chav, what a proper chav, and things like that. But yeah, class wise, it usually is just lower, middle, and high. I'm probably borderline middle and low, to be fair. I was brought up lower class. I was brought up like borderline lower class, and as I've got older and like kind of moved away from my moved away from my family a bit, I've become more middle class. But yeah, I'd say middle. But yeah, that's how we usually do classes. No one's ever going to call me a chav, basically. That's never going to happen. But no one's ever going to call me a Tory either.
X. Something the Brits do that confuses anyone that moves to the UK is how they end texts and other messages. The simple X. All Brits are nodding their heads forcefully now, thinking, yeah, it's a kiss. But Brits use it generously, just sending X's left, right and centre to everyone in their contacts, even your boss.
Smiley face at the end?
Smiley with a wink. It's cheeky.
On top of this, the number of X's at the end of
You're
a
not going to send
message
it to your
can
boss.
be used like a secret code. One X makes you seem cold, or is for acquaintances. Two X's is like testing the waters with someone you like, while three X's is for your family, partners, and close friends. And if you use four or more, then you're desperate.
No.
Number 7.
No, that's just something that before I met the wife, I never used to put X's in a message at all. And then the wife always done it, and then she said to me like, "Why don't you do it?" So I started doing it. It's just something that I started doing, but it's not. I don't know. It's like she'll do 3, I'll do 3, and that's it. It's just become the norm now. It's nothing in it, or like I don't do 3 X's and think, "Oh yeah, I'm on a winner tonight," or I do 1 X and think, "Oh, she's pissed off with me," and it's just something that becomes normal. But I would have thought that like most people do that worldwide. To be fair, that. Like I've worked with a lot of like different nationalities, and like they all seem to have done it in messages. I don't think that's a British thing.
Then weather conversations. If you're ever waiting for a bus with a stranger, small talk is bound to happen, especially if you live anywhere but London anyway. And when the conversation begins, 9 times out of 10, the weather will be brought up, usually in a negative way. Bit hot today? The news said it was gonna rain later, and so on.
My husband's like the climate, he changes. This morning he went on for 2 hours about the bloody weather.
It's often used as a way to talk, but not actually speak about anything interesting or serious. It's the conversational equivalent of setting personal boundaries. Sometimes weather talk is used as an icebreaker, pun intended. There's even been research into the phenomenon, with 94% of British people admitting to having chatted about the weather in the past 6 hours. Yikes. Number 6.
I tell you what, listen, I'm going to tell you just one thing about British people, and it is the case. Weather is used as an icebreaker, but British people are stupid, and it is the case that I'm one of them. I've done this in the past. So, say for example, you're going to work and you stop at a bus stop, and it could be sunny, it could be a heat wave, it could be raining, it could be windy, and guaranteed someone will be sitting there and they'll just look at you and go, "Oh, what about this weather, eh?" And you're like, "Yeah, I know it's hot," or "Yeah, I know it's cold," or "Oh, they didn't expect rain today." That'd be it. Done. Conversation over. That is the end of the conversation. You had the icebreaker with the weather. You talked about the weather, and then that is it. Conversation done. There's no follow on like, "Oh yeah, crappy weather having today. Where are you off to?" "Oh, you're going to work. Where do you work? What do you do?" No, that's it. Talk about the weather. Comment on the weather. Conversation dead. That's it. That is it. Oh, this video is making me feel that British people are stupid, and but I don't think we wanted to come out of Europe. I think they wanted to fucking kick us out of Europe.
6. Queuing. Queuing. Is there anything that brings a swell of national pride more than seeing Brits creating a queue out of their instincts? Nope. No, there isn't. It's like a collective hobby that we all share.
There's a queue here.
If anyone dares break the rules by jumping the queue, they will be publicly shamed into defeat. But it doesn't mean we actually like queuing. If anything, we hate it the most and wish the need for it was removed forever. But until that magical day comes, we line up neatly, we wait patiently, we move forward when the line does, and we do it all in near silence beyond passive-aggressive sighing or tongue-clicking when the line is taking ages to move.
Right, listen, for anyone that's not been to the UK, and you want to travel, I am going to give you advice. Jumping in the line, if you're at a supermarket and it's like self-service and things like that, and you jump the line, you might get a few people in there go, but they won't actually say anything to you. Most people, it is the case that they'll say it to the people that they're with. Like, if someone jumps the queue, my wife will turn around to me and go, "He's just jumped the queue. They've just jumped the queue. Why are they jumping the queue? We're waiting here like muppets in a queue, and he's just jumped the queue." But she'll say it to me. She won't say it to him. Maybe she's saying it to me expecting me to say something. But the way I look at it is one person ain't saying shit. It's going to take an extra like 20 seconds. But here is the thing. If you visit the UK and you are waiting for a bus, or you go to a bus stop and there is a queue of people at a bus stop, whatever you do, do not jump in front of people at a bus stop. That is the worst thing, because you could have people that have been standing there for 15-20 minutes for this bus to come, and then this bus will turn up and someone that's just strolling along will walk in front of them and get on this bus, and all hell will break loose. And it's usually the older generation, it's the old biddies that will let loose. They will not, they like both barrels going in, they will take it out on you full whack. Do not jump in front at a bus stop. But yeah, we have this thing about queuing. I don't know why. Yeah, we just love to queue.
Number 5, bin passion. In most places, the bins are collected weekly in the UK, recycling one week and general the next, and we are passionate about it.
Come and get your black bin bags. They're long and black and slender.
We get the bins out onto the pavement the night before they're collected like clockwork. Then, now empty, bring them in the next morning. At the same time, we judge people that just leave their bins out all the time, even gossiping to other neighbours that Jan at number 12 has left hers out for 3 days.
We love
but
to
if
gossip.
the bin workers accidentally happen to miss your bin, oh boy, unrivaled anger flows from the unfortunate person. They don't let go.
I tell you what, like, here in London, over the last few weeks, we've been having strikes with the bin men. So it has been the case, like, I live in a development where there is like a dozen different properties that use the same big industrial bins, and because they've been on strike, these bins have overflown and overflown and overflown to the point that you can't get bags in there no more. So people will throw their bags and they'll just topple to the floor. And now it's the case that, like, we'll have a bitch and a moan about the dustbin men, that like, oh, it's our taxpayers' money that's paying for it and they can't even come and do it. They want to pay rise, that we're the ones paying for it and we're the ones suffering and all this. And then it'll be the neighbours, they'll go and stuff, like, in the end, because it's just overflowing, people just don't give a crap. They will go there and they won't even attempt to get this bag anywhere near the bin. They'll just fling it, and then we start moaning. British people love to moan. Honestly, we are a nation of moaners. We will moan about absolutely anything. It wouldn't surprise me if that is not on this list, because we can moan about anything and everything.
They'll tell everyone for weeks or months about this betrayal from the council. Number 4, bonfire nights. For non-Brits, the whole country gets really, really weird on the 5th of November. After all, we celebrate the story of Guy Fawkes trying to blow up Parliament by lighting one firework after another, often in someone else's garden on a freezing autumn evening. The fireworks are usually a little anticlimactic, but we continue with the tradition. On top of this, we get an effigy of Fawkes or someone in the news and lob it on top of a blazing bonfire.
I don't suppose you'd come back in 12 hours when I've blown up the king.
Then we...
Do you know what? Honestly, I'm not going to lie. Here is the thing. When I was a kid, I don't know if they do it now. Around that time of the year, bonfire night, we used to do something called penny for the guy. And what you do is you get some old clothes, you'd get a football, and you'd get some things that you can build up your own guy. And you'd go and sit outside shops, and as people walk past, you'd say penny for the guy. And this is where I'm coming in with a lower class thing, because you're not going to go to Westminster and see someone doing this. Basically, it was like an East London, like, your mum and dad ain't going to give you no money, so go do penny for the guy and you'll get money for sweets, basically. So we used to go out and do penny for the guy, and I used to love doing it on a Friday night about 10 o'clock at night outside the pub. I lived opposite a pub, so I used to go and sit outside the pub, and I used to earn like 40, 50 quid in a night. All these people come pissed out of their head. But another thing, bonfire night, you don't really see it now, but when I was a kid, what we used to do is, we was under this impression that on bonfire night, firemen did not work. They didn't care about fires. They would not come around and put out fires. That in our minds, your house could be on fire, but the firemen ain't going to come because they're just going to think, oh, don't worry, it's a bonfire. So we used to make fires. And I mean, it'd start off very, very small. And then gradually more people would come and we'd start to throw different things on. So like it'd start with like bric-a-brac that you can find, and then it'll be someone's wheelie bin. And I remember doing that every year until one year some idiot decided it would be a good idea to try and catch a cat and try and throw this cat on that bonfire. And that was the last time we done it. We never done it again after that because people just got stupid. But yeah, I don't know if that's ever done worldwide, but yeah, bonfire night is a big thing here, and you don't really get the fires anymore, but you do. You get controlled fires. usually around like where the fireworks shows and things like that are. But when I was a kid, we used to just go and make our own.
We watch it burn while drinking soup, tea, or hot chocolate, and holding a sparkler that fizzes out after 30 seconds. We also have to chant Remember, Remember the 5th of November, which we say over and over again. It's madness, yet delightful. Number 3, tea being a cure-all. When a Brit is facing a crisis of some kind, they're gonna put the kettle on to make a cup of tea. Celebrating? Tea. Thirsty? Tea. Hungry? Tea. Bored? Tea. Literally, we use this drink as a kind of cure-all.
Do you know what, honestly, I'm sorry that I keep pausing this, but obviously these are a lot of things I can relate to. When it comes to a cup of tea, that it is the case that people think, right, how is this going to cure it? It's like someone comes in your house and goes, I can't believe it. I can't believe my mum's just died. I really can't believe it. And then whoever's house you've gone into, they'll say, don't worry, I'll put the kettle on. Like that person's then going to turn around and say, oh, thanks, yeah, you're right. I got me dad, so fuck it. It is the case that with tea, but I don't know, that we drink a lot of tea. I went to the supermarket today. I went to Tesco's and everyone had like the big 420 or 440 packs of Tetley tea bags in their trolleys, and me and the wife's like, what the hell's going on? What's going on? I have no idea. And apparently they've gone from £8 down to like £2.60, and you had just people going mad. You had people going mental. And that's the thing. Even now, there's 3 things in my house that I will never run out of: toilet roll, baby wipes, and tea bags. They are the 3 things. You still need milk and sugar to make a cup of tea, but it doesn't matter. We won't run out of tea bags.
You've got to get out into the world again. Think positive.
All emotions can be dealt with when consuming a warm cuppa. It doesn't really matter what the situation is. We're all just looking for an excuse to pop the kettle on for that pale brown nectar. After all, an estimated 60 billion cups of tea are consumed within our aisles each year.
60
and each
billion!
Brit has a particular way they
Wow.
like their tea, and any other way is nonsense. Like,
60
why would you
billion
put the
cups.
milk in before the water? That's just bonkers. Number 2, drinking culture. If there's an
Sorry, that's one more thing. There is a way of making tea, and if you are not British and you do not know how to make a cup of tea, do not offer to make someone a cup of tea. So here's the deal. You put the tea bag in, and then you put the sugar in. Once the kettle is boiled, you put the water in, and then you let the tea bag brew sit for a minute or so. Then you put the milk in, then you squeeze the life out of this tea bag, making sure that you don't burst it and all the little black bits from the tea bag come out. There is a way of making tea, and if someone ever says to you stir anti-clockwise, they're messing with you.
Another drink Brits like more than tea, it's alcohol. Doesn't matter what kind. Could be a 2 litre of cider, a pint of lager, a mojito, or whatever. We aren't fussy, but non-Brits can find it a tad jarring at the crazy amounts Brits get through. On top of that, pubs are a centre point of socialisation. Not only do friends meet there, but often whole families with young kids will hang out there for the day.
So, what are you gonna do about it? From the police? Me, all the police. As you tell.
Those kids will have mountains of packets of crisps and soft drink to keep them quiet, while the adults do Jaeger bombs and yell down it at each other. For better or worse, every British person will have memories of the pub when they were young. Number 1.
Okay, so here's the thing with pubs. All the way back in 2006, the smoking ban came in pubs, and I was running I wasn't running at the time. I was just working in a pub at the time. And when that smoking ban came in, the pub that I worked in was vibrant. It was in Piccadilly Circus. It was right around where the Sony headquarters and everything was. And this pub was lively. You used to get so many people come in, and it had such a good atmosphere. And as soon as that smoking ban came in, it just went downhill. Honestly, that smoking ban killed a lot of places, and a lot of pubs started to close down after that smoking ban came in. And they was talking here about like that pub culture, and you don't really get that in London anymore. That you have to go a little bit out of London, and if you go up north to the likes of Manchester, Leeds, where you got villages, and that village might only have 1 or 2 pubs, that's where you get that vibrant pub life. But like, you don't really get it here, where like in London, it's the case that if you're going to go and sit in a pub all day with your kids, people are just going to think, oh, you're a fucking alky. Like, you need to take your kids over the park, not sit in a pub with them. But for some reason, like outside of London, and when you go to the north and things like that, it's completely different.
On British foods. Our food gets regularly mocked by other countries. Often the plate's contents will be very brown.
Discount foie gras, egg and ham slabs, during dinner mince, mystery meat.
Non-Brits like to point at haggis, black pudding, and so on as examples of our strange cuisine, while also making jokes about spotted dick, toad in the hole, etc. Yet those mocking us tend to ignore how we've adapted from other countries to create a more refined national palate, like India, China, Jamaica, Ghana, and others to have more delicious dishes. There's also the argument of chips. Depending on where you're from in the UK, you might have gravy, curry sauce, salt and vinegar, or something else on them, and you're fiercely loyal to your region's topping. Do you agree with our picks?
Right, I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to chips, there is nothing better than See, I'm on the fence now because one is cheesy chips. So you make your chips, you put grated cheese on top, and you put it back in the microwave to melt. If the chips are hot enough, it'll just melt on its own. So that's the first one. Or the second one is gravy, and this is not a gravy dip. If you've gone to TGI Fridays and they give you that little cup of gravy that you can dip your chips in, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about getting a pack of Bisto, putting some hot water in a cup, stirring it, and just sitting it and just doing that, and just pour. Just keep pouring until you can't see them chips. It's just a whole plate of gravy, and then you get your hand in, and you got all gravy dripping from your hands. But yeah, who knows why obesity is running wild in this country? No one knows. Like gravy slathered chips and things like that. That was, do you know what? And that's a surprise. When I met my wife, she said to me like, I don't like gravy, and we have gravy over a roast dinner. So we'll have like chicken, roast potatoes, Yorkshire puddings, veg, and we just slather gravy all over it. And she said to me she don't like gravy, and I was like, are you mad? Are you mental? How could you not like gravy? And that's a big thing. That's like someone in the UK saying, I don't like tea. It's like, what? Here's something that I don't know how common it is in the UK. It's something that my mum and dad like to do. So if you know what gravy granules are, what they like to do is they like to put gravy granules in with a tin of baked beans and mix it in and then cook it like that. And when I first saw it, I was like, ugh, that's nasty. Then when I tried it, it's actually really nice. So if you've got gravy granules and a tin of beans in the cupboard, go give it a try. But anyway, I'm rambling on. I really enjoyed this. No, I'm not going to lie, because I can relate to near enough all of it. So I did really enjoy it. I apologise for keep pausing it. I didn't want to keep talking over the video. But listen, I hope you like this. If you did, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I will be uploading daily. And I take requests. So if there's anything that you want me to do, then just let me know in the comments down below. And go and check out Watch Mojo UK. They've got a lot more videos on their channel. I will be reacting to a lot more of them, but go and check them out. Subscribe to their channel as a way of saying thank you for letting me do this. But I will see you in the next one.